Welcome to Sensible Transfers, a video series in which we make transfer suggestions that suit the style of the club that we're discussing. If you're unfamiliar with the rules or methodology, you can watch our Sensible Transfers rules video as linked below. Today's club is Tottenham Hotspur. Under Jose Mourinho, Spurs have changed tactically. The shifts haven't been immense. Spurs are now generally lining up as a sort of staggered 4-2-3-1, which sees the right back pushing higher than the left back, with a similar asymmetry up top. The left winger starts from a wider position but drifts in, while the right winger is much more tucked into the half space. Spurs are playing more directly now than they were under Mauricio Pochettino, although this is perhaps also a function of midfield issues. Mourinho actually has an array of good midfielders with interestingly different profiles. Eric Dyer and Moussa Sissoko are competent ball-winning, shielding midfielders of slightly different types. Harry Winks is a steady circulator of the ball capable of progressive passing. Giovanni Lo Celso and Christian Eriksen are more creative and can work in central midfield or further up. And Tanguy Ndombele is a pass-breaking, ball-carrying player. Until Mourinho finds a balance he's happy with and all players are available for selection though, he's tending to generate transitions from deeper positions, looking to get the ball forwards to Spurs' attacking four, where Dele Alli can make runs in ahead of Harry Kane, and the wide players also push in field to attack. Spurs are a difficult team to scout for. Right wing looks well stocked with Mourinho-type players in Lucas Moura and Eric Lamela, while Eriksen can play there tucked in too. The perennial issue of a backup for Harry Kane, probably to offer something different, is always a question. Perhaps a versatile forward who can play left wing, someone like Marcus Thuram or Robin Quaison, is worth considering. But it's very unlikely this will happen, and so we've looked elsewhere. There are two clear areas where Spurs should consider investing. Having bought last summer in midfield, this area really shouldn't need addressing. However, it seems like a genuine screening defensive midfielder is still lacking, and according to The Athletic, Eric Dyer sees his future at centre-back, while Victor Wanyama will be allowed to leave on a free transfer. The stability afforded by a genuinely good defensive midfielder could allow Mourinho to give the other part of his pivot, presumably Ndombele in the long term, more scope to carry the ball and break the press, and his more creative but less defensively capable options, such as Lo Celso and Eriksen, can give an interesting range of options further up the pitch. An inexpensive development option is Copenhagen's Jens Dalgaard Stage. 23 years old and 6'1", Stage leads the Danish Superliga's midfielders for interceptions won, adjusted for opposition time in possession, with 9.9. He also makes 8.3 successful defensive duels per 90 and an impressive 5.7 aerial duels per 90, winning 64.5%. Big and strong, he's adept at preventing play from developing and holding up attackers, and would work best in a team that is largely playing on the front foot. He's not the quickest, although he can generally recover his position well. He's valued at around €3 million, but would probably more suit a lower level side. He's worth keeping an eye on though. A slightly left field choice is Lyon's Lucas Tousart. Tousart is a player who divides opinions even among Lyon fans, and he does have issues with concentration. Given Lyon's persistent issues this season, he might want to leave, although his €20 million valuation would certainly see a higher price required. But in the plus column, he's still only 22, has been playing European football since 2016-17, and formed part of a superb Lyon midfield last season and the one before with Tanguy Ndombele now at Spurs. Even in a struggling Lyon team, the 6'1" defensive midfielder has put up decent numbers. 10.1 defensive duels per 90 won at a rate of 58.4%, 4.5 aerial duels won 58.8% of the time, and 6.6 interceptions adjusted for opposition possession. He was the glue that made Lyon's midfield tick alongside the ball carrying of Ndombele and the creativity of Usamoah, and could do the same for Spurs, albeit as a pricey option. Our pick though, assuming Spurs don't want to break the bank, is João Palhinha. 24 and almost 6'3", João Palhinha is playing at Braga on loan from Sporting Club de Portugal. His 11.7 defensive duels per 90, won at a rate of 62.3%, is the best in the Portuguese Primeira for midfielders who fit our criteria. He also makes a very impressive 8.7 aerial duels and wins them at a rate of 63.7%. His 5.3 interceptions per 90, adjusted for opposition possession, places him 12th in the league, while he's 4th for tackles attempted. He's tidy in possession and also makes 4.2 long passes per 90 at an accuracy of 65.9%, while he's also capable of finding space to take the ball off the centre-backs and playing it to the forwards along the ground quite well. Like Starger, he tends to play in the double pivot of a 4-4-2, so he might need to adjust slightly to the system that Mourinho favours, but he would add solidity, ball winning, and an aerial presence to Spurs' midfield at a reasonable value. His on-loan status could also complicate things, but he's been on loan for 1.5 seasons, so he should be gettable. He's valued at around €6 million, though he would certainly cost more. Competition for Serge Aurier is an area that most Spurs fans would identify as a need rather than a luxury. Aurier's attacking numbers are reasonable, but he's not convinced in a role that requires attacking output and defensive solidity. Among Spurs' areas of concern, right-back is probably top of the list. Patrick Berner of Nice is 10th among Europe's top 5 leagues for progressive passing among right-backs we looked at, a list that is topped by Trent Alexander-Arnold and also includes Joshua Kimmich, Benjamin Pavard and Dani Carvajal. And he's only 19. He's also 7th for final third passes, 7.8 per 90 at 73.2% accuracy, though he could improve his deep completions, with only one deep completed cross or pass per 90. He's quick and capable of some excellent forward passing, and while he's definitely not the finished article, he could be worth a gamble at this stage and wouldn't be a huge outlay. Paolo Giglione, a 22-year-old Italian at Genoa, is an even trickier prospect to assess. He's 6'2" and defensively solid enough for a converted winger, but he's been playing in a Genoa side in freefall. Nonetheless, he leads the team in assists, with 5, and can play anywhere on the right-hand side. His assists per 90 is third of the players we looked at, behind only Alexander-Arnold and Achraf Hakimi. Those 5 assists have come from an expected assists of 1.76, which is probably unsustainable, but his deep completed crosses or passes total of 2.5 per 90 is very good, and he's 5th in Europe's top 5 leagues when only deep completed crosses are considered. There might be too many question marks, but he's an exciting attacking prospect at right back who's been capped by Italy at youth levels. Our pick, though, is Kosovo's right back Mirjin Vojvoda. He only joined Standard Liège in the summer, which could be a stumbling block, and he could delay a transfer until the summer, but that's fine under Spurs' current circumstances. He's 6'2", an aggressive defender, skillful and quick in attack, and manages an XA of 0.13 per 90. More impressively, he achieves a combined deep completed passes and crosses of 3.45 per 90 and 14.1 progressive passes per 90, comfortably the best overall passing output of any right-back in Belgium's top tier, and considerably better than another Tifo favourite, Joachim Mahler, who's been linked with Southampton. Vojvoda has a swagger when attacking that evidences real confidence and has the kind of technical ability that Kosovo seems to be producing at the moment. Perhaps not one for January, but Vojvoda should grace a top-level team soon, and he'd be a sensible acquisition for Spurs. And here is what our team could look like.